Looking to make video game music, feeling inspired but also a bit overwhelmed about where to start? You have come to the right place. In this video, I will tell you what tools you can use to make game music, how to do the basic setup, and how to actually drop your first notes into your song. I will then show you how we can start making our music sound more interesting by utilizing plugins that provide additional instruments and effects. I will not cover songwriting or music theory, as there are a lot of resources out there that can explain this much better. I'm still a noob myself, so I would not do that any justice. If you like this content, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thanks. To make video game music, you need a DAW. DAW, or DAW, stands for Digital Audio Workstation and is basically an application that allows you to compose music. DAWs allow you to connect instruments, either physical or virtual, and record them. Since I'm not particularly proficient at any instrument, I will show you how to use virtual instruments with your DAW. Some DAWs come pre-packaged with some instruments, but they usually sound pretty plain and boring. But fear not, because you can also download external plugins that will provide you with many more virtual instruments as well as effects and allow you to create that sound which you're looking for. First, let's install a DAW. There are many DAWs out there, but the one I started using is Reaper. Reaper comes with a 60-day free trial, and it apparently even allows you to continue using the software after those 60 days are over. Though if you like their software, you would be doing them a solid by buying it. First thing you want to do after opening up Reaper is to make sure that your audio device is set up correctly. To do this on Mac, you can go up here to the top, click on Audio Device Settings. Next to Audio Device here, make sure that the device is selected through which you want to hear the music. In this case, I'm using my wireless headphones. Select them and hit Apply. Next, let's try to actually record our first notes. I will not pretend to show you how to write good music in this video. Instead, I just want to get you off the ground with adding the first notes, and I'll refer you to many other great videos to teach about melody, composition, and so on. Now, before we can record anything, we have to add a virtual track. To do this, click here and select Insert Virtual Instrument on New Track. You'll see a dialog appear that shows all the available virtual instruments. I'm going to go ahead and select the top one here and hit Add. You can already see a pane that will allow me to configure the sound of this instrument. I'm going to go ahead and close this for now. And now I need to actually be able to add notes to this. And to do this, I will need some sort of input method. Usually this is some sort of keyboard. Luckily, Reaper has a built-in MIDI keyboard. To open that up, we go to View and select Virtual MIDI Keyboard. Now what's important is that before this keyboard will make any kind of sound, we have to make sure that this track is armed for recording. All that means is that this button needs to be red here. If it is gray, like this, you will not hear anything. If it is red, in other words, armed, you should hear the notes from the keyboard. Now, there are multiple ways of going about recording actual notes. The first way, maybe the most straightforward one, is to just hit this record button here and start playing your notes. Now, unless you're really good at playing these virtual instruments, it might be really hard to hit the correct notes at the right point in time. That's why I want to show you another way of recording music. Let's go ahead and delete this track here. And what we're going to do next is we're going to add another track, select an instrument again. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go here to Insert MIDI Item. Now we can right-click here and we can open the MIDI Item Editor. We again see the keyboard here, but this time it's on the left-hand side. And now to actually record notes, what we're going to do is we're going to place the notes. Now in this editor, you can do anything you could kind of expect to do in an editor like this. You can drag notes around. You can also copy entire segments. We can go ahead and close this, and we will see that what we created in the editor now appears here in the track. So we managed to add some basic notes to our composition, but the whole thing just doesn't sound that interesting. This is because we are using the plain stock instruments that might already be pre-installed. Luckily, there are plenty of plugins you can download that provide some pretty nifty instruments and effects. Two plugins I have found pretty interesting are Dexed, or Dexed, and TAL. Both provide free versions that are great for starting out. To download these plugins, head to their respective websites and find the download links for the plugins. Once downloaded, install them like you would any other software on your OS. Sometimes before installing a plugin, you have to close your DAW. Other times, you can leave it running and can simply tell your DAW to rescan for new plugins after installation. Let's go ahead and add a track on which we can record with our plugin. So we're going to again select Insert Virtual Instrument, and we're going to select one of our plugins. So in this case, I'm going to select Dexed, hit Add, And already you can see a much more complex UI here with a lot more options for configuration. And if I hit the keys here, we can already hear the effects of the plugin. This already sounds quite different than the stock instrument that we had before. We can go through here and we can select different presets. I particularly like this one here. This is giving me some serious Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time vibes. Sounds like the Deku tree. We can also try out the TAL NoiseMaker plugin. And that's basically it. Now you're able to add your first notes and are ready to learn how to actually write a song. Again, if you're looking for guidance on how to write songs and how you can use music theory, have a look at the videos I linked in the description or in the video link that should appear now. Thanks for watching.